Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I am going to jump into a story about some drama that's happening on YouTube right now. And if you know anything about me, I have covered a lot of different things related to YouTube drama. Did some stuff related to James Charles and Jeffree Star and Tati when everything happened with their squabble or that mess that happened in May. I've covered Eugenia Cooney and her return. We've talked about Tana and Jake Paul. We do a lot here on my channel, and this story was brought to my attention by some of my subscribers that had asked me to take a look at what was going on here and try to put something together to make sense of what is being put out here. Now, if you're not familiar with these players, I will give you a little bit of a high level, but it's going to be kind of confusing. But basically who it includes is a YouTuber named Cole Carrigan, who is a beauty guru, kind of. He was formerly part of Team 10, which is Jake Paul's group. He left Team 10 this summer. He actually did an exposing of Team 10, accusing Jake Paul of being a crappy boss and of one of his friends basically like kicking him out of the group in Vegas and making everything really messy. Jake Paul responded by basically calling him lazy and full of crap. And he kind of lost a little bit of credibility there because I don't know that anyone really expected a whole lot from Team 10, to be honest. Jake Paul's group has always had a lot of issues, so it wasn't like anything earth-shattering. He has said that he has been held at gunpoint in an Uber and shot at. He has claimed that his father has died, but he's still alive. He's said a lot of things, so that's Cole. Then there is Keemstar, who has a channel called Drama Alert. Keem is problematic in his own ways. He believes that he is telling the news on YouTube, which is fine, I guess. And he has this propensity to try to out people, whether he believes they're cheating, pedophiles, criminals. That's like his thing. And he has falsely accused a lot of people of a lot of things, including being pedophiles that were not true. But he's also done things like gotten people through his exposure, gotten pressure applied and had people arrested for doing things that are inappropriate. Most recently, Ray Diaz, who was accused of raping a underage girl. So there's Keem. Now, Cole's entire video is allegations against Austin McBroom, who is part of the Ace family, which is a channel on YouTube that has 17 million subscribers. The family it's like a family vlogging type channel that appears pretty fake. It almost seems like overly produced in the same breath that Tana and Jake's channels are. It seems very corporate. It seems, I don't know, the Ace family in general just doesn't seem like real to me. It seems fake, but they do have 2 kids and they talk, I don't know. Austin has had a lot of allegations throughout the years of cheating on his wife, Catherine. A lot of people have accused him of doing this kind of stuff, but no one will come forward because they say that he makes people sign NDAs. He has also uploaded questionable things, like he did a Snapchat of taking his stepdaughter to a sex shop and then buying her a penis lollipop and then having her lick it. It was really weird. I watched that clip this morning. So all of these people have sort of messy backgrounds, I guess is what I'm supposed to say. What I meant to say. So when I saw the video go up yesterday of Cole Carrigan, I was like, this is the guy that has had a lot of allegations that have come out, whether or not he seems to be kind of doing some of this for clout. And I hate to say, are you a clout chaser? But the video that he did, he basically says that a couple of his friends were paid by Austin McBroom to go down to Miami with him to be the hot girls at a party on a yacht, and that he would basically arrange for them to fly down, put them up in a hotel. And according to Cole, his 2 friends got more for what they bargained for, because he says that his 2 friends were raped by not only Austin, but his father and a friend, like a whole gang of them. And in order to prove his point, Cole basically provided a lot of screenshots in here that basically insinuates that he had these like involvement with these women. He insinuated that other women were having issues with Austin. Lots of people that knew about what Austin was up to. He says that before he was going to do the video, someone reached out to him from Austin's camp, threatening them not to make the video. He even says that Keemstar was supposed to do a video on this, but then Keemstar backed out and didn't do anything. He said he spoke by the phone with Keem, and then when the video never went up, he says that Keem told him that he asked Keem if he got paid off, and Keem said $500K. There was no response beyond that. So this one to me was a little bit problematic, to be honest, because if someone's being paid off, they're not going to admit it to you. Like, seriously, if a channel's taking money and they're being told, like, I'm going to take money from you, and this was the one screenshot I was like, this can't be true. Because if you're getting paid off, you would probably have to sign an NDA, which says that that you don't disclose that you got the payment. So this right here, I was like, that's probably Keem being sarcastic, and Keem can kind of be a sarcastic a-hole, and he makes no apologies about that. So then he like basically shares a bunch of screenshots and showing that his friends were told by Austin she was sending pictures of who she might be able to bring. Mind you, this woman is a glam model on Instagram. She's got lots of followers. And so as they're going back and forth talking about who's going to go down, they're making arrangements. And they get there, and his assistant sends this to them. He has proof that Austin was down there, and this has supposedly happened on June 21st. He took a screenshot that shows that he was in Miami with his father at the time. And then he goes into this long sort of story about how the girls had been on jet skis all day. They had been on the yacht. They drank a lot. They go back to the hotel room. They're in their bikinis. They're going to go change to go meet everyone later. And he gets one of the women to come on his video, who essentially says that like Austin and his NBA friend and his dad basically get these girls into a situation where they're so intoxicated they can't say no. They end up having sex. Now, the one girl on the phone literally called it sex. She did not call it rape. She said that they had sex with her, and then she looked over and they were having relations or doing things with her friend. She did say that they were both extremely intoxicated and wouldn't have been in a right state of mind for consenting. But she never called it rape. Now, she did say that after everything happened, it was pretty traumatic for them. They went into a shower. Basically, all three of these people are accused of doing these things to these girls. A bodyguard for Austin somehow like gets everything to sort of shut down, and they leave, and the girl that's on the phone who has a voice like her voice is being like altered, so you don't know who it is. The girl's name is never said, so it's completely anonymous. And Cole says that he has to do this for them because he has a platform and he doesn't want these people to get away with anything. So the girls say that they stay in their hotel room all night, and then he says that they turn the lights on and they see that there's blood on the bed that apparently is from June 22nd. I don't know screenshots that actually say June 22nd. That's kind of weird to me. And then proof that they like somehow like were trying to get in touch with them and they weren't responding. And then some more proof like that she reached out to someone after everything happened on that same night. So one of the girls reached out to a friend that was in Miami and basically told them what happened and said that she was scared. And then this was like communication with them after the fact. I don't know what the proof here was that they were leaving. Parts of his story made me like sad for the girls, but other parts of the story really confused me because I was like, these are serious allegations, right? And first off, you're not the victim, Cole, so why are you telling it? Like, he says that they say that he can tell this story, but I am a survivor of sexual assault, and I am a firm believer that It's only the victim's story to tell. And not every single person that goes through this is ready to tell something. And maybe it shouldn't have been done so publicly, because in my mind, if this did happen and if this was as serious as he said it is, putting this all on social media could really muddy the waters and make this a lot messier than it needs to be. And then adding a third party voice like Cole, who wasn't there, only heard about it through third parties and was given receipts from his friends, doesn't really say a whole lot. And then he's levying these massive allegations that could be disproven very easily. And if he is making these allegations against these people, I would hope to God he knows that he could get sued if it's false, because he's literally slandering, defaming this man if this didn't happen, okay? So I was trying to be like, we're in a world post Me Too where we're supposed to respect and trust victims, but this wasn't really the victims coming forward as it was so much Cole deciding that he was going to come forward for the victims. That's weird. Now, he insists that in the video he had to do this because morally he had to say something, because he doesn't want this kind of stuff to get brushed under the rug. But my thing is if you were really this concerned, Cole, I really wish you probably should have just gone to the police or filed a report, talked to a lawyer. I do think going on social media and doing this was probably the least appropriate place for this to go. And those were my initial thoughts before I even looked at anything else that anyone said. Then as I started, after I watched the video, I go onto Twitter and everyone's like freaking out, right? Everyone's like, oh my God, the Ace family's canceled, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's starting. Like, I feel like it was going to be like the next James Charles mess, right? And if I learned anything from the James Charles, Tati, Jeffrey thing, was that sometimes there's three sides to every story, yours, theirs, and the truth. And sometimes it's somewhere in the middle. And so I think there's this cancel culture on YouTube that wants everyone to like make the people at the top the bad guys so that you can cancel them and get them off so they're no longer making the kind of money. A lot of that comes from a place of jealousy. Sometimes these people are doing bad things, but I do think that when something like this is going on, it's really, you got to be really careful about levying these kinds of allegations against anyone, period. So then I started digging into Cole, and I started realizing that he kind of has a history of not sort of, telling the truth all the time. He's faked his father's death. He's said outed a father to his son after having sex with him. He's used the N-word. He makes racist remarks. I found stuff on Reddit where people that knew him said that he often fabricates stories. He's kind of known as a pathological liar, that he's just not kind of a mean girl. People from his hometown said that, they've just sort of been waiting for this kind of stuff to come out about him. Now, again, take this all with a grain of salt, but this was sort of like me going, okay, is there some credibility issues here? Maybe, okay? Well, then, in his video, he basically insinuates that Cole says that he talks to Keemstar from Drama Alert, who has a channel that has about 5.3 million subscribers. He covers different stories and trending stuff on YouTube. And he says that he spoke to Keem, talked to him last week, and then when Keem didn't actually do the story, he believed that Keem was paid off because he got that text message, which essentially Keem responded by saying 500,000, which I told you I think was him being sarcastic. Well, Keem responded on Twitter he actually responded on Twitter, but then he also did a video this morning. And in his video this morning, Keem says that he had spoken to Cole because he's been trying to track or get some sort of proof that Austin cheats on his wife. And Keem said on Twitter last night that he does believe that Austin probably cheats on his wife. He just has been waiting for someone to come forward that will be able to say it. He said the problem is a lot of these girls sign NDAs. And then he said that last week when he had someone lined up and they backed out, he went on to Twitter and he found this from Cole, which says, how does no one know their entire brand is fake? Austin has effed so many of my friends recently, even one girl from his own father, with his own father, and Catherine knows and is okay with it as long as he's home in time for vlogs. So Keem says that after he basically saw that, he reaches out to Cole. Cole talks to him on the phone. He tells him a whole lot of stuff. He asks him if he can talk to his friend where he's making these accusations about, and he says that Cole says, I'll let you think, I don't know, I'll think about it. Well, he says after he hung up with Cole, then somebody starts calling him and basically telling him that, and the problem is Keem has 0 screenshots, and apparently this is all over the phone. So this part is like, you just have to believe what Keem is saying. Keem says someone calls him and basically says that Cole is jealous because he is apparently in a relationship with Austin, and Austin doesn't want to do anything with him anymore, and he has slighted him, and therefore he's trying to get back at Austin by creating and manufacturing this whole thing, and that he is going to either ruin Austin or try to extort him. Keem then says, okay, then he gets sort of like questioned. He doesn't know how this person got his phone number. He had just gotten off with Cole, so he believes that Cole has given this person his phone number. He says that the friend that Cole is supposed to talk to about him, it never lines up, nothing ever comes of it. And then he sees that Cole is going to expose him about the $500,000 statement, but he says that he actually sent Cole something after the fact that said he was being sarcastic. So Keem then posts a photo of the girls in Miami who are named, I think, Leslie and Amanda. And then there's Keem in his video basically trying to explain this all away. And then on Twitter, he essentially calls out Cole and says that, dude asked me how much the Ace family paid me to make the video, and I said $500,000 sarcastically, or not to make the video. Now he's going to make an exposing video. Truth is, the woman I planned on interviewing went MIA, and I thought it was rude that he would assume that I would sell out my multiple million dollar brand. And then he said, I tweeted this 2 days ago and texted him saying I was being sarcastic because I thought he was being effing rude. And even after that, I would take some type of bribe. He still posted the fake BS. So Keem is basically saying that he sent this message, and then he responded, Cole, I'm being sarcastic. So he then went on to say, myself and my team have been working on the Ace family cheating story for months, and if not a year, and I'm going to come out with a story of clown Carrigan not going to discredit me before I do. So yeah, I defend myself, blah, blah, blah. So initially he said this didn't happen, and then Keem says, well, wait a minute, I'm getting more information, and maybe this actually did happen. Stay tuned. So then later on, Keem actually ends up outing the girls on Instagram, asks them to come on Drama Alert, posts their photos for everyone to see and their names, and people are getting pissed off. Now, I don't have screenshots of that, but that really did happen. Then the woman that's in the center of this, her name is Leslie, she posts this on Instagram or on Twitter, and she says, to speak on this video that Cole Carrigan posted, some of you have recently figured out that I'm the other girl they're talking about in the video. I feel like this video was made for the wrong reasons, and this wasn't Cole's story to tell. Cole even texted me saying that we could potentially get paid $100,000 from this, following the claim that Drama Alert was paid off $500,000. I wasn't aware Amanda or Cole were in contact with Drama Alert to anonymously run our story, but I was aware of Cole's video being made, and I only wanted it to be factual if it was ever going to be posted. I wanted to say that Austin McBroom is not to blame in this situation, and he did not rape me or anyone, and I'm currently handling this situation in my own way. I brought this to social media to address the false accusations that this wasn't what I wanted, and that there are several sides to every story, and this isn't how I wanted to tell mine. She then posted this screenshot where it's between her and Cole, and it says, hey, sorry I didn't hear you. You caught me off guard texting me, and I overreacted. And he said, yeah, I get it, no worries. And then he wrote, I have enough proof, but the point of this is not to upload a video, but the point is to scare them into paying us off, because they paid Drama Alert $500K, so I'm sure they would pay me $100K or more not to say SHIT, and then I would split that with you, and if you would help me by sending me all the receipts that I need. So Leslie basically says that Cole comes up with this idea that he is going to attempt to get Austin to pay him off for not releasing a story that Austin and his dad and his NBA friend did this stuff to these girls. Now, Leslie says that nothing happened. There was no non-consensual sex. So it's kind of confusing. Did something happen? Maybe. Is Leslie saying no because now it's out there? Maybe. But was Cole's intentions to release this questionable. After seeing all of this evidence, I would say yes. Did he want some money out of this? Maybe some clout? Probably. Otherwise, I can't see any rational reason for him to release this video. And if this again did happen, I would hope that Leslie in this case is taking the steps that she needs to, whether it's with legal resources or dealing with Austin and his family, whatever. Well, then Austin puts this on Twitter and he says, if you have not heard, I have certainly been a victim of extortion. I have recently been a victim of extortion, defamation, and slander. I knew this was a cold world, but I never did foresee something this disturbing upon me. Thank you to all the Ace family members for all of your concerns, and thank you to those who know my character and my heart. I don't wish this upon anyone, and I can only hope that those responsible for this learn from their mistakes and become better people. My family and I are dealing with this matter privately and taking legal action. Bullying, extortion, slander, and defamation of character is something I will not stand for, and I can promise that justice will be served. And then he also shared a tweet with the link with a photo of Leslie's statement, the text message, and then he said, I really hope you all understand what's going on here. So, I don't know what the truth is here, but what I can see from an objective sort of third-party point of view is that somehow Cole decided that he was going to tell the story of his friends. Something might have happened with his friends, and Leslie could very well be saying that nothing happened now to stop and get the heat off of her. It's hard to know. But he decided that he was going to put a video out and use his platform, which he benefited from greatly. He went from having 147,000 subscribers yesterday morning to having 184,000 subscribers today. His video has also been seen more than 3 million times before I uploaded or before I went live for this video. So he does have some financial and career motivations by making these types of claims. Could he really truly believe that this happens? Sure. But if he did attempt to extort him by not putting this out there for money, that's illegal and that's wrong. And if he believed that this really did happen, putting it on YouTube is probably the last place that you should be making these sort of statements. And I would really question any of you that are in a situation like this. And I realize that a lot of women do not come forward for a lot of reasons, and a lot of women don't report them. In fact, 90% of all of these sorts of situations that happen with women are never reported. I was part of the 10% that did report, and nothing happened in my case. 99% of people that are accused of this never go into jail or face any sort of punishment. Now, I can understand he felt like he wanted to expose this about, unveiling what's happening on behind the scenes. However, if everything isn't true, he could get in a shit ton of trouble for having defaming Austin, because clearly there is on Twitter, it's trending in the United States, the Ace family party and Austin McBroom are literally trending in the United States. So people all over Twitter are canceling Austin based on Cole's video, but Leslie says it's not true, and she has text messages showing that Cole had this plan, and Keem is saying that he heard the week before that this was going to happen, and he tried to get into it and he couldn't figure it out. Keem has said on Twitter, and he uploaded this ranting video where he basically said he does believe that Austin is cheating on Catherine, but cheating on your wife and rape are in completely different categories. You can be a cad and hook up with Instagram models and get down and dirty with your wife not knowing about it, or maybe being okay with it. And that's at a way different level. That's not criminal. It's jerky, it's gross, it's slimy, but it's not criminal. And so I'm just always very cautious that before we ever accuse someone, we try to look at all the sides. And right now, I don't know that I believe Cole's story. I also don't believe his motivations. I also don't believe that he did this for the right reasons. That doesn't mean that I don't believe that something could have happened in Miami. Something could have happened in Miami. I just don't know what it is. But I do know from based on what Leslie's saying is that he literally wanted to shake down money from Austin to not release the story. And that to me is slimy. So it's like one slime ball calling out another slime ball, and then Mr. Keem is in the middle, and Keem has his own sliminess to deal with. So you got 3 slimes throwing slime all over each other. And that's my take. I think before we cancel anyone, we should try to be a little bit more objective and looking at the entire big picture of what all of this is going on. So that's my take. I would love to know what your thoughts are. If you believe Cole, if you don't believe Cole, if you believe Austin, if you don't believe Austin. A lot of you have been like telling me that the Ace family is terrible for a long time. I don't cover family vlogs. I'm just not into that kind of stuff. But I can kind of see why now you don't really like them based on some of the videos I watched. But that doesn't mean that I think that he did this stuff to these girls, especially since the girl is basically saying nothing happened. All right, you guys, I'll be back later with more. Bye.